Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Power of One. Today we're watching The Bad Batch, Episode 2, Cut and Run. Thank you for joining me today. I am absolutely loving this Star Wars series. When they first introduced Clone Wars, I didn't think it was going to be all that good, to be fair. It was eye-opening as I started going through and watching it. You can pinpoint the exact moment where they realized their biggest audience wasn't kids. Like, they realized adults were tuning into the show in droves. And the tone changed. It wasn't for just children anymore. And it was a revelation on their part, and the quality of the show just went up. They finally started telling deep, meaningful stories while still on the surface having an appeal to children. And all the way up through Order 66, where everyone just started getting murdered, there was still some of those hints of being accessible to kids. But the stories of these things, I think, have almost evolved past that at this point. The Bad Batch definitely falls into that, because they're watching everyone around them turn on them, because they are not falling in lockstep. Hell, they had one of their own team turn against them because of an implant that he's got in his head. They are the Omega Squad. They are the mutations, the enhanced clones from experimental batch that everyone just calls the Bad Batch. And now they're suddenly on their own, completely removed from everything. Not just being a little different and the other clones look down on you. No, they are their own entity at this point. So I'm very curious where the show is going to go. I'm very much hoping that they stick the landing and tell a good story. That's what I care about. I don't just want Star Wars stuff out there because it's Star Wars stuff. Okay, part of me does, but I mean, that it's Star Wars. What are you gonna do? So it goes to everything that I talk about this on this channel, that sticking by those that have always stuck by you. Band together and you will be stronger for it. But you alone can still make those changes. So there is a soft spot in my heart for this show because it's different than your standard outsider kind of story, because you always get that in a lot of shows. Hell, look at Harry Potter. He was the outsider until he got pulled into the wizarding world where he's a feckin' hero. This show, these guys were outsiders in the entire clone army because they weren't exactly the same. But now these guys are different completely because they did not fall into lockstep with the Empire. So I think, without further ado, we're going to jump into this one and see where the story progresses. I know she's an enhanced clone. My theory is, I've got two ideas about her. One, she's either the perfect mimic. She could just watch someone and mimic them, their skills, abilities, thoughts, feelings, that whole bit, just from some of the hints they had in the first episode. Or she was their attempt at cloning a Jedi. Let's see if they give us any hints on the next episode. Oh, there's an immediate change. They're removed from the army, so it's no longer the war serial. Alright. That would be something amazing. Because Kamino's always storming and raining, so a sunny day would be completely new. really kind of like this.
That would be dirt. Come on, let's get moving.
It's gonna rain. You didn't close the door on the ship. This is how you get bugs.
So this friend of yours, what's he doing all the way out here? Hiding. That's what deserters do. Staying off the radar is
right.
our specialty. He's been doing it for years. And you trust a deserter? Why not? We're all deserters now.
Inhibitor chips. The Kaminoans implanted them in the clones to modify their behavior.
The rigs were programmed, but you never mentioned a chip. How else did you think it worked?
Right?
There's a ship outside!
Shaya! Jack! Remember me?
Uncle Raptor!
Oh, that's awesome. He would be the best uncle ever.
Come with us.
I love that. What? Don't look at me.
The Kaminoans don't create without a purpose. You all have
Right.
one, so what's hers?
Ding, ding, ding.
They started seizing ships about a week ago.
Oh, that's neat.
Every citizen can exchange their invalid currency for Imperial credits, thanks to the generosity of the new Galactic Empire.
That is an amazing way to get people identified. Clever. I actually never thought about that. That is amazing.
It's not just ships. They're registering people, too.
Yep.
Getting off planet's gonna be harder than I thought.
They're just getting their shuttle, man. They'll drop you off on some nothing planet and you're good. Who cares if they're wanted? Oh, wow. That's less than pleasant. Oof. I've always loved the alien creatures they come up with in this, in all of Star Wars, honestly. Imagine the cojones you need to have to go up against that thing with a feckin' knife and no armor. Seriously. That's balls.
Tech, you think you can forge some chain codes? I only learned of them moments ago. But yes, do it.
Tech is awesome.
I want to make it a go with you. You two can give us something that we can't.
Is that what you really want?
It's what she needs.
Valid answer. Spoken like a true father.
It's ingenious. You could create a database to identify anyone in the galaxy. Glad you're impressed.
Exactly.
Where are we gonna find? You're suggesting we call the authorities and have them seize our ship? That is exactly what I am saying. I guess if they think it's abandoned, it just might work.
Wow. That is thinking outside the box, man. Oh, why would they... Okay, I get building drama, but why would they not tell the others?
What kind of ship is this anyway? Looks like a modified Omicron-class attack shuttle.
I wonder how long it's going to be before we start hearing different voices from the troopers. If they're not using clones anymore and start doing the conscription, I think it'll be an interesting, slow development, but I'm looking forward to it.
In progress. The encryption shouldn't be a problem.
And see, again, they got her watching, so is she going to pull off some coding thing later?
Can't get caught at all. What are you talking about? If we get tied up in a blaster fight, they're gonna lock down the whole port where the discs go. And where's Omega?
Found her.
The chain codes are en route. With Omega.
By herself? You let her go by herself?
Well, we didn't let her go.
I'm on it.
Right?
That hit the spot.
Right? Wrecker is still my favorite. 100%.
Yeah. On my way. They're waiting for you at the dock. Better get going.
See, Wrecker's already adopted her. Like, she's one of us. Cool, go do your thing.
Sure, I got it right here. Oh, right. Must be in this hand.
The best part is he thinks that's clever.
Have to go, Omega. It's for your own good.
Yeah, I just don't see her actually getting on the ship. Or if she does, she's gonna sneak right back off. Oh, yes! It's been a minute since we needed a reminder that these guys are badass. And you know what? Hunter is just destructive.
Wait, Omega's not back.
Wrecker, she's not...
Wait for me!
Come in! Although, I mean, you knew she was. Yeah, okay, that's not a thing. That shot was awesome! That was some John Wick shit right there. He is. He's just free arm lifting weight a power droid. Oh my god. Just when I think he can't get more awesome.
This is where I want to be.
Tell you the truth, kid. I guess I've got a lot to learn too. This is where you want to be. Then this is where you'll stay.
Well, okay, so that was a hell of an episode. I'm really enjoying that they are building the background, the baseline for what happened during the transition from the Republic to the Empire. It was a lot of things that were broad-stroked before. It was, oh, okay, you know, the Empire clamped down on communication, and suddenly the local governors had control of everything, so everything went to shit, and there was military everywhere. But that bit about swapping the credits only after you were registered, that's nothing short of brilliant. It guarantees that everybody registers if they want to use any money that they have, or they are suddenly and 100% destitute. And I'll guarantee with that will come forfeiture of lands and property and stuff like that, because it was bought with Republic credits or whatever. That is the kind of socio-political move that is genius. Don't get me wrong, it's a dick move. I'm not supporting that kind of shit. But it is something I never actually considered for a way the Empire even more put the people beneath their heel. So, absolutely love that detail. Real quick bit of trivia. So, the kids of the deserter clone trooper, one of them said something that triggered something in my head. The voice sounded familiar, so I looked it up. The voice of Smellerbee from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just thought I'd throw that trivia out there. Also, if you've seen Clone Wars, voice of Asajj Ventress. Weird, huh? So, I like that they're putting more detail into the combat scenes. It was easy for them in Clone Wars to, again, broad stroke the combat, because it was, okay, we have horde of clones, we have horde of droids. We can reuse a lot of this stuff. You know, so it was shoot, 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 shoot. Oh, someone got hit by something. This one is much more personal, small scale. So, yes, while they'll be using explosives and things like that, like some of that John Wick movement and combat that they were using for Hunter in this one is amazing. I'm glad they're putting in that kind of detail, because that's how these guys fight. They don't just march and shoot. They're not your standard regimental soldiers. They're showing the creative stuff that these guys are able to do beyond the clone troopers. And I support that. And it's detail work like this that brings me back to all these Star Wars shows. This is great. So, they had the episode of oh no, the girl may not be with the group. Cool. Hopefully one and done and we can move on past that, because we knew she wasn't going anywhere. She's too big of a mystery plot point. I do like that while Hunter is kind of taking on the father figure and worrying about her safety, like, as soon as Wrecker heard that she was one of them, he's like, oh, cool, you want to go shoot something? You know, he has no qualms about treating this kid like another soldier in their group. And when he ran into her as she was trying to do the thing, he's like, yeah, go, just do the thing. You're one of us, you can do the thing. So I really like that. Wrecker is simple but not dumb. The dynamics that they're building around the characters, they are very much personalizing them. Like with Tech, it is very factual, no extraneous detail, because a lot of it seems very simple and obvious to him. Like, hey, the other clones are programmed. Okay, well, to him, the only way to program is through the inhibitor chip. The others didn't grasp that, though, which is why they were shocked, thinking that there was an implant in their heads. Though, now that Hunter knows this, he may start to try and devise ways to get the chip out of the sharpshooter, Crosshair, to try and bring him back into the fold. Also, we didn't see much of him, or any of him, in today's episode, so they're obviously not going to be forcing him on the viewer. They're just going to be bringing him when it's applicable, because in a lot of shows it's like, oh, you know, you got this guy hunting for you, blah blah blah, like he'll show up at the end looking around like, yep, this was them, I'm on the right track. You know, it was a one and done thing, and in the next episode, if they do focus on him, they may be like, oh yeah, there was this incident here, that was probably them. But they don't force his presence on the viewer during the story, and I really like that. Shows that get a little too heavy-handed, it starts to break my immersion in the show, and I'm not a fan. So, all in all, a great second episode. They didn't have as much time to cover things, because the first one was a double episode. It was about an hour. This one, it looks like they're sticking to the format of 30 minutes. Speaking of formats, I do like the little detail was of the first one was the war serial, just like all the other Clone Wars ones were. They had the announcer at the beginning. He was doing the bit. The war is now over. It ended in that episode, and now the openings are just people. There is no war serial. There is no glamorizing the battles. It is just a story that follows them. That is an amazing detail that a lot of people will probably miss. But I think it was well done, and enough that it shows the transition from what was to what is now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed my renditions and rantings during it. And I hope you enjoyed your day. 100% thank you for stopping by. I hope you do so again. I hope you bring someone with you. Share these videos. Share your favorite of any of the ones that I've done to someone that could use a smile in their day. You know what? They don't have to come by. They don't have to subscribe, nothing. Just try and brighten someone's day with one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Thank you for your support. Remember, you are a power. You change my world every day with every comment. One person changing the world. Thank you. And I will catch you folks in the next one.